Half a day, everybody. I'm Jason Salas. Welcome to the HotSpot. Here is what in our afternoon data server.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the Fresh Garden Bar.
Your Thursday data drop has bones found up in the village of Jigo. Also, DOC detainee escapes Manila compound, and the governor is contemplating issuing an executive order that will pardon misdemeanor marijuana crimes. And we begin your afternoon newscast with news that what appeared to be human bones were discovered along Talantun Gregorio in Jigo Wednesday morning. While wanting to remain anonymous, KUAM News did interview the man who found the remains outside of his home.
Yeah, this morning I brought out the trash can, and on my way out I saw what looked to be a human bone on the ground. So I looked at it, and it looks like a spine vertebrae. So I called the non-emergency police line. I let them know, so they brought out the guys here. They looked at it. They said, yeah, it is a human bone.
According to the man, his wife also found teeth in their backyard several weeks prior. They're unsure if the teeth are from a human or animal, but they're hearing things around the property is not uncommon. The Criminal Investigation Division was on scene, and as we reported, it was in January of this past year when human remains were found in Talampago, but have heard no updates from the Guam Police Department. Elsewhere, he was only behind bars for a couple of hours before escaping the quarantine facility at DOC this morning. Here's more in this next report.
Around 5:45 a.m. this morning, 22-year-old KD Arison checked into the Hagatna detention facility for processing as a new confinee. He refused to take a COVID test and was transferred to the quarantine unit in Mangilao, and he wasn't there long. Around 8:25 a.m. on Wednesday, a passerby reported they had seen a person on the outer perimeter who appeared to be escaping the compound. We should note this is the second prisoner to escape from the Department of Corrections quarantine facility since November. In a previous interview with KUAM, spokesperson for the Department of Corrections, Major Anton Uggan, claimed they took the necessary measures to ensure the facility was secure following the November escape.
Earlier this year, we had the inmates that escaped. Was that fixed, patched up? I know you guys just finished these renovations.
That was from the COVID unit that was up there, and we put a fence around it, did some extra security measures.
Even with these extra measures, Arison still managed to escape. The Special Operations Response Team was then deployed to search and apprehend Arison, who was spotted around the American Medical Clinic in Mangilao. Island resident Sia Blessum was on her way to work when she witnessed officers searching for him.
I just got out of the car, bolted towards this bush, and there was already like 4 cops standing there, they're looking in the bush, like what's going on, and everyone was slowing down because there was like 5 cop cars, right? But everyone was just looking, and they were just running towards the bush. It was a little scary for sure, and just seeing like 5 or more cop cars on the street was scary for me.
Captain H.B. Price Elementary School, Ontalon Middle School, and George Washington High School, out of precaution, locked down their campuses. The Guam Police Department gave the all-clear, and regular operations resumed after Arison was apprehended around 9:15 a.m. He was released to GPD for further investigation. In the meantime, DOC will be looking into how Arison was able to escape.
Governor Leon Guerrero, in other news, is considering an executive order with which to pardon all those convicted of misdemeanor marijuana crimes. She made the announcement in a video news release Wednesday with cannabis law sponsor Senator Clint Rigel. The island's chief executive said since marijuana has been decriminalized, her administration believes in second chances.
I am seriously looking and discussing with key stakeholders pardoning those individuals who have been convicted of misdemeanor or single crimes related to marijuana. Now that it is legal, I think we should go beyond that and allow these individuals to return back to livelihood and to return back to being a very productive member of our great island communities.
It was unjustified to make this substance illegal in the first place, so I think it's only right to restore justice, so to speak, and enable those who made those mistakes before to be able to seek a new life where they don't have to worry about applying for a job and having this on their record.
The governor signed the Cannabis Industry Act into public law in 2019. The Cannabis Control Board established the rules and regulations for the licensing, cultivation, and sale of marijuana, which were reviewed and approved by the Attorney General this past February. They were transmitted to the legislature, which has 3 months to approve them. Senator Clint Ridgell says he's scheduled a public hearing for the 12th of May. Well, the CNMI Senate in regional headlines set May 13th as the official start for the impeachment trial of Governor Ralph Torres. However, the Senate president says that date is tentative pending the result of this Friday's vote on the motion to dismiss the articles of impeachment. Senator Jude Hofschneider wrote to senators Wednesday saying, quote, "In the event the motion to dismiss is not granted on all or any part of record, the hearing will commence on Friday the 13th. He noted that all legislative matters will be on hold until that hearing ends. The senator also noted the House prosecutor he appointed, Representative Karina Magofnia, will not be allowed to participate in those hearings after lawmakers failed to file an appearance after their failed negotiations for more prosecutors. The trial will also move forward with the 8,000 pages of impeachment records from the House. Senator Vinny Sablan, Torres' Republican running mate, and Senator Justo Quirigua, who has familial ties to the governor, both recused themselves from a vote, although it is unclear if they are still mandated to participate in the proceedings. And also, as we told you on the link this morning, a man with ties to the Marianas is making national headlines for his alleged involvement in an arson that leveled a Home Depot in the state of California. Tomas Manglona joins me now and has the very latest details on this rather shocking story. Good afternoon, Tomas. What have we known since?
Yes, Jason, absolutely shocking. Dylan J. Cruz Gogui, 27, was arrested for his alleged involvement in starting a fire in a Home Depot that leveled the building in San Jose, California. Gogui, who has ties to the Marianas, was charged with intentionally setting the massive fire. There were no serious injuries. The Santa Clara District Attorney's Office says that the April 9 fire caused $17 million in inventory loss and sent employees in the 98,000 square foot store running for their lives. Gogui allegedly tried to leave the store with stolen items after setting it ablaze. In a press conference earlier this week, Santa Clara County District Attorney Jeff Rosen said that Gogui was stopped by an employee before he fled in a vehicle driven by someone else. The DA says Gogui may have also stolen from other nearby shops that same day. Over 100 firefighters responded in the 12 hours it took to put the fire out. San Jose police arrested him on April 15. His arraignment in Santa Clara County is next Tuesday. He could face up to 14 years to life in prison for the charges of aggravated arson, 7 counts of grand theft, and 3 counts of petty theft. Jason.
All right, thanks, Tomas, for that certainly disturbing news. Indeed, he'll have more on Primetime tonight. Well, when HotSpot returns after this quick commercial break, master storyteller and cultural ethnographer, our friend Arlene Steffi, discusses her latest podcast. That is coming up. Please stay tuned.
No waiting in line to see your doctor or to pick up your medication. From tips to living a healthier lifestyle, nutrition and fitness, to the latest wellness trends, stay healthy by checking in for your weekly dose of health news on Health Check every Tuesday on KUAM News Extra. Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
The KUAM Care Force, in partnership with the UOG Center for Island Sustainability, Guam Green Growth, and UOG Sea Grant, is proud to present a series of Sustainability Matters features all Earth Month long, including Green Leader Profiles on KUAM News Primetime, introducing you to people in our community leading the way with sustainable businesses and practices. A Think Green Cleanup Showcase on Weekend Edition at the end of April, featuring your events around the island. And Team KUAM is taking on the Sustainable Lifestyle Challenge every Friday on HotSpot. Plus, follow the KUAM News Instagram and Facebook pages for weekly tips from Guam Green Growth. Sustainability matters all month long on KUAM Communications.
Get all your beverages delivered from the Bottle Shack on the UnoGo app and website. Whether you're watching the big game, celebrating a milestone, or just want to unwind at home, we got you. Delivering spirits, soft drinks, beer, ice, and more right to your front door. Check out our Instagram page for monthly specials and giveaways. The Bottle Shack on UnoGo. The fast, safe, and responsible way to enjoy life. Must be 21 and older to order. Delivery is limited to certain villages. Visit uno-go.com or download the app today. Drink responsibly.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? You've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by UnoGo, Guam on Demand.
Let us know what's up on our KUAM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town, on Guam or the CNMI, and what you want us to know. Reach us on WhatsApp at 671-727-0094.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, this morning on The Link, I spoke with my friend Arlene Steffi about her latest podcast episode. Check it out.
How this language became. And it's a quandary for many of the scholars, because in the Austronesian language family, there are 1,200 different languages, but Chamorro, in and of itself, doesn't belong to any one of those languages. It's not a puzzle that they can say, oh, it fits in this one. No, it doesn't. So all the oceanic families, including, peoples, including Hawaii, are Austronesian speaking people. But Chamorro doesn't fit into any of those languages. It's almost as if its isolation has sprouted a totally different tree, if you will. And so it cannot fit into the models. And I think to some degree, they've kind of thrown their hands up on the ancient time and said, well, let's not worry about that anymore because it's not that easy, or maybe it will reveal itself in time. Let's focus on the modern Chamorro. And so what they did was, the historical nature of Stoltz's work was, at first, as a German scholar and a linguist, fascinating. I said, what kind of a kid were you? At elementary school, he invented his own language. And I said, were you bored? And it was interesting because he said, I don't know, I never really took any journals or anything, but
it was his thing. Some people just have, some people get into math, some people like to draw, some people, make languages.
And he said, linguistics is not something that you can develop into. You either want it or you don't. So it's a gift. And his wife is a linguist, very interestingly.
Huh.
So anyway, what he tried to do initially was to see how language contact, meaning like if the three of us, for example, today, if we met for the first time and we all speak different languages, or maybe two of us speak and the other one doesn't, then that initial contact would introduce a language to the other two, and you would introduce a language to me. So what he said was, in the work that he's done, the research he did, was trying to see how Spanish had impacted other languages as Spain colonized different areas. And he found that in every instance, there was an assimilation or similarity in how the Spanish language changed the contact language, or the language that it contacted with. And that led him to the Philippines. And then in the Philippines, he discovered a dictionary that said it was a Chamorro dictionary. And he said, what is this? And he'd heard of it, but never knew really about the Chamorro language. So that investigation led him to introduce Chamorro as one of the topics that he teaches in Bremen. And then he came here and he works very closely with Rosa Palomo at the university. And I am very close to Rosa because of the work we do. You know that, Ken.
Sure.
And also with Ken's sister, Terry Flores. So they have assisted me in the publications and in the Chamorro language. And they're my defaults when it comes to, and Anne-Marie Arceo, they're my defaults when it comes to defining or spelling of the orthography, and they're champions in this area. And so she said, hey, Thomas Stoltz is here. He's doing an investigation. Students are interviewing people in Inalahan. Would you like to interview him? And I said, of course I would. And so that started our long friendship. And he always responds. He's very responsive. Look at the credentials this man has. He's well published. I mean, in academia, you publish or die. That's the mantra. Publish or die.
And be cited. I mean, anyone can write a paper, but it's how many people actually cite you and their work going forward. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but and that's a very good point, by the way, and I'll get back to that. But publish or die, and yet publish what, right? And so he's very he's into different languages, Maltese, and he's German and whatever. So he's certainly someone we cannot ignore when it comes to our language. And now that I'm back on the podcast, I want to help to share this knowledge, not only with the people here in Guam, but people who are interested. And I brought up Miguel Bavacua's effort to try to teach the Chamorro language to adults now. And that was a topic of this conversation. Just where can you go as an adult learning the Chamorro language, or any language for that matter? Mm-hmm. You're not a native speaker if you learn the language as an adult. Because native speaker, by definition, is someone who learns it from infancy up, and someone who will be able to be creative in that language. So as an adult, when you learn it, you learn what is taught to you, and you're only as good as your teacher, right? So, and then your ability to utilize that language becomes limited, restricted to what you've been taught, rather than natural way of learning it, speaking it at home, and then the progression into developing the language further. And so that came up when I said, I'm baffled sometimes about how we can't name things anymore as Chamorros, and many of that's because native speakers are the only ones really with the capacity to increase and expand a language because they learned it from their infancy up. And so this discussion we had, the poignant part is that it is the responsibility of the parent, the native speaker parent, to teach the children from infancy up so that it becomes a native speaker, and it becomes the responsibility of the community to be engaged, to be determined, and to be aligned with this value system of making sure that a particular language is not, doesn't die.
Trust me when I tell you, everybody, time spent conversing with our good friend Arlene Steffi is not time wasted. Always love chatting with her. So make sure to check us out on YouTube for the full interview and much more. And there is much more coming up on the HotSpot, so please stay tuned.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Do you love live sports? Then you need GTA Digital TV. GTA has the most sports SD and HD channels on Guam. ESPN, Fox, NFL Network and Red Zone, NBA TV in HD, and so much more. We got MMA and boxing fans covered too. Plus, with TV everywhere, never miss the big game or fight again. Get your sports on with GTA Digital TV.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC and the Medical City, where patients are partners.
The most tempting part of your week is guaranteed to be the Subway and Chili's lunch box hours. Tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Breeze 93.9 FM. Catch the greatest hits of your lifetime from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s while you grub on a mouth-watering Subway foot-long sandwich or the tantalizing flavors you love from Chili's. Your lunch box hour is brought to you by Subway and Chili's.
Let us know what's up on our KUAM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town, on Guam or the Sinamai, and what you want us to know. Reach us on WhatsApp at 671-727-0094.
The Hotspot continues, friends, and thank you so much for streaming us or watching us live. Here is this week's Property in the Tropics, where we take you to Central Guam.
Properties in the Tropics is presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
How's I'm Melody Blas.
And I'm Vivian Gogo. We'd like to welcome you to this week's episode of Properties in the Tropics.
Welcome to Sasadson Valley, known to most locals as the Marble Cave area. This beautiful valley on the island's northeastern coast boasts some of the most amazing cliff line and ocean views. Today we are featuring 6 properties for sale. The first 3 ocean view lots are located along the entrance. There are 2 on the left side, identical in size and price. Both are 1,204 square meters and priced at $85,000. The third property is much larger at 6,738 square meters and priced at $395,000. The next 2 properties are by the ocean. Again, these 2 lots are side by side and are also identical in size and price. Both lots are priced at $68,000 each and are 1,673 square meters in size. Last but certainly not least, at the center of Sasadson Valley is this gorgeous piece of property that is over 3 acres. As you can see, the ocean views are still visible right behind me. The sale price for this piece of paradise is $385,000. Whether you want to build your dream sustainable home or be a weekend warrior at your very own private oasis, whether you want to live cliffside, by the ocean, or in between, Sasadson Valley might just be the place for you.
Situated along Route 15 in the village of Mingilao, enjoy countless adventures nearby, such as the Mingilao Golf Course or grabbing a bite at the Mingilao Night Market. Ranked amongst the world's 100 greatest golf courses, Mingilao Onward Golf Course. The scenic, splendid, and lush natural beauty of the course make it one of the most popular golfing destinations in the Pacific. Residents and visitors flock to the heart of Mingilao on Thursday evening for the night market. The night market is the perfect place for visitors to experience being a part of the island's extended family.
Whether you want to buy, rent, or sell, give us a call. We are here for you.
Outstanding agents, outstanding results. That's us,
Melody Blas
and Vivian Gogo with RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
Tune in next week for more Properties in the Tropics.
Properties in the Tropics is presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Nice looking property there. Well, our next story introduces you to a training chief who recently won Fire Instructor of the Year for the U.S. Navy. Now he moves on to compete against the Department of Defense. Jonah Goncharfers has this story.
For the past 25 years, the Navy Fire and Emergency Services Awards Program has recognized outstanding job performances of individuals in fire service, and recently, one of Navy Federal Fire's own, Mark Berry, was awarded Fire Instructor of the Year. While he admits he was in disbelief upon hearing he won, NBG Fire Chief Gifton Lawrence said Berry was a perfect fit for the award.
Chief Berry competed and won Navy-wide, so that's 11 Navy regions, more than 70 plus installations, and over 2,000 firefighters. So it's a tremendous honor to be considered Navy's best fire service instructor.
Barry, who originally came to Guam as a firefighter back in 2006, is currently the training chief.
It pretty much touches everything training, from developing the program to meet CNSC requirements that everybody needs to get, from EMS to hazmat to working with the base for integrated drills.
Some of Barry's accomplishments, which the award highlights, include streamlining the Rookie Firefighter Academy, reducing the time frame from 6 months to 4 months, receiving a 100% pass rate for the candidates. And he's an adjunct instructor for the National Board on Fire Service Professional Qualifications via the island of Saipan, teaching numerous firefighter certification courses from promotion and fire academy curriculum. For Barry, it's a job he truly loves.
The best possible thing about being in training is actually leaving your thumbprint or some kind of print on the newer generation of firefighters. It's kind of like leaving a piece of yourself as the department grows and betters itself.
We're all excited that he won this award. This is truly a testament to the dedication of the craft that he loves so much, which is fire department training.
Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jonagan Charfris.
In other news this afternoon, President David W. Panuelo of the Federated States of Micronesia wrapped up a series of meetings with U.S. government officials in Washington this week. It culminated with him throwing a pitch for the Washington Nationals before the start of their Major League Baseball game. Now, according to a media release by the FSM government, Panuelo was engaged in high-level defense talks, which include the Compact of Free Association negotiations. A media release said, quote, President Panuelo's objectives, which overseas include substantive deepening of ties with the U.S., are the intention of the FSM national government to describe some of these meetings upon their conclusion, including the President's forthcoming meeting with the U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Compact negotiations. And finally this afternoon, the Obama Foundation has announced its newest cohort for the Asia-Pacific Leaders Program, and Saipan's Jacqueline P. Che was selected as one of those leaders. Now, Che, who works for the public school system up north, is also the founder of the nonprofit Full Belly, Full Hearts organization, providing free meals, groceries, and job assistance to those in need, especially amid the pandemic.
I'm still a firm believer of education, and I feel that if we can have an educated community, we can rise up from poverty, and we can help build everyone up so that we don't have to be providing free meals, right? We don't have to see our kids drop out of school or be unemployed after high school or college. I do feel that there's so much potential here in the CNMI.
She's also on the board of the CNMI Women's Association and a founding member of the CNMI College and Career Research Alliance Group. She joins the Obama Leaders Program among over 200 leaders from over 35 nations and territories. And with that, we are going to say goodbye, at least for a few hours, because remember, the KUAM News team has you covered on everything happening on Guam and the CNMI for prime time tonight. I'm Jason Salas. On behalf of all of our cast and crew here, we wish you a good day. Please be safe and have a pleasant Thursday.